Why is restorative justice important?
When you look at our criminal justice community, they are at capacity. We have overwhelming caseloads. Everybody is pointing the fingers at everyone else trying to get something done, but the end result is you have a lot of offenders going free. So what restorative justice does is it allows the victim of crime, it allows the community, it allows the prosecutors and police to all come together and to have a program that they can agree on actually changes lives, makes a difference in the community, and deal with all of these low-level offenders that really were having nothing happening to them before.
How do you work with turning them around?
Sure. Well, actually, because we work with consumer shoplifters, not ORC, these are your customers who steal from you because they had an opportunity. It's easy to work with them because it's not out of criminal intent. There's other things that make them do it. So nobody wants to make their life any harder than it already is. So they're very motivated to change this and never have to be in this situation again.
What should retailers look for when implementing restorative justice to their stores or their retail establishments?
Well, I would say that the most important thing is that when they go to implement something, it needs to be compatible with the interests of the community, with all members of the community. So while the law enforcement is used to working for law enforcement, and retailers are used to looking out for retail interests, and nonprofits look out for offender interests, what's important is that everyone works together. It needs to be a win for everyone in the community.
Are there any ways that the community and retailers can kind of work together for this?
It's happening all across the United States right now in a lot of jurisdictions. And where we are in Gainesville, Florida, we're working on some new innovations with the Gainesville Police Department, the State Attorney's Office, Walmart, and some other leading retailers are leading the way now. And we're working together there with some of the restorative justice program options that are there.
How about the community with restorative justice? How does the community benefit?
Today, the process is they're going to go ahead and apprehend someone that's shoplifting. The retailer is the victim. They call for service, which means they call law enforcement. Law enforcement sends a patrol car out. They'll either arrest or give a citation to the offender, take that person away and put them into the criminal justice system, which means they're going to end up on a docket of a court in that municipality. By us taking a low-risk offender out of that, we're not going to be calling for service from the police. We're not going to be putting a docket service call onto the judicial system, which means they can focus on greater issues within the communities.
How can retailers benefit from restorative justice programs?
Well, there are some components of restorative justice now with programs that address the offender and how helping them understand what they're doing and the harm that it's creating. Also helping them develop their own life skills so they don't necessarily feel like they've got to offend. They're also helping make the victim whole by interacting with them sometimes. That's probably the component that needs the most work.
Can it actually help to lower costs for retailers?
I think ultimately it can. Obviously if there are fewer offenders picking on them because they realize the harm, because they're going to have to actually pay something, they've got to work with the victims themselves. That can help ultimately.
It's a win for retailers, it's a win for law enforcement and prosecutors, and for the people that are committing the crime. They learn from it, and we stop the behavior and reduce the theft.